Hey guys, this is Chad here, and really quick before this video begins, I just want to say a quick thank you to all of you guys. Lately, the channel has been freaking exploding, and I don't even know where you people are coming from, but thank you guys so very much for all the support, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, because a lot of time and effort went into making this video. Right now I've been learning a new job, so I haven't really had all the time in the world to make videos and stuff. But I've only really had enough time to work on this video like once per week, so this video has definitely been a long time coming, and I apologize that it took so long to get out for you guys, but like I said, I've been really busy, so I would definitely appreciate a like. It really helps me out, and if you guys didn't enjoy this video, let me know in the comment section below why, because that helps me improve my videos in the future and stuff. So if you enjoy it, leave a like. If you don't, tell me why, and I hope you guys will enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome back to another Pokemon Top 10 video. Today I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite PU tier Mons. And without further ado, kicking off this list, coming in at number 10. Alright guys, so I actually decided to throw this Mon on the list last second, so effectively this is now a top 11 video instead of a top 10 video. But I really love this Mon, and it's the set that I'm showing you. It's pretty damn gimmicky, but it's a pretty fun set to use competitively. The Pokemon I'm talking about here is, of course, Shedinja. So Shedinja is probably one of the more unique Mons in that it literally only has 1 HP, but it has the ability Wonder Guard, which makes it so you can only get hit by super effective attacks. Now you can also get hit by like hazards like Stealth Rocks, Spikes. You can also get hit by status moves like Toxic and Will-O-Wisp, which will kill you in one shot. But as far as attacks go, you can only get hit by super effective attacks. So it's a pretty cool Mon. It's definitely, because like Stealth Rocks and Spikes are so common, it's definitely one of the harder Mons to pull off. But when you do, and especially if you use this set that I'm showing you, it's pretty damn incredible, honestly. But anyway, the set that I'm showing you is Weakness Policy Shedinja, and I can already see somebody in the comment section is like, well, Chad, you're an idiot. How the hell is Weakness Policy Shedinja gonna work? Shedinja only has 1 HP. Well, shut up and I'll show you. So, Shedinja gets a really cool move called Endure, and what Endure does is it allows you to take a hit and live on 1 HP, but Shedinja only has 1 HP. So basically the idea behind this set is to bring Shedinja in on something that you know cannot hurt you. Something that has no super effective attacks against you, or no status moves, and obviously make sure that you don't have any, or that your opponent doesn't have any like hazards up. So bring Shedinja in on something that can't touch you. Go for the Swords Dance on the turn that they have to switch out, and then go for the Endure when they bring in something that hits you super effectively. So once you go for the Endure and they hit you, your Weakness Policy will activate, giving you another +2 boost. So the Swords Dance plus Weakness Policy combination will put you at +4 attack, guys. And Shedinja's other attacks are basically Sucker Punch and Shadow Sneak. You don't really need any speed investment because you're basically running priority attacks. So if you get up to +4 with this Shedinja, you can actually do some work to your opponent's team, but like I said, it is very, very hard to pull off. I would not recommend the Shedinja set if you're doing like a league match or something like really competitive. This set is really gimmicky, and it's basically it's basically one of those sets that you use just for shits and giggles, like if you're battling a friend or something and you just want to fuck around. So but yeah, I think I just felt like I wanted to share this set with you guys just because it's fucking hilarious, so yeah. Number 10 is a Pokemon that stole my heart all the way back since Gen 1, and that's Flareon. So Flareon is a freaking adorable Mon, but I feel like Flareon kind of got shit on up until like Gen 5 or 6 when they finally decided to give Flareon the move Flare Blitz. Because previously, Flareon's only good fire attacking moves were like Flamethrower and Fire Blast, which are obviously special attacks. Flareon has a much higher physical attack than it does a special attack, so giving Flareon Flare Blitz was like a godsend for Flareon. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, why would I even mention Flare Blitz if I don't even run Flare Blitz on this set? I will go into the set details in a moment, but let's take a look at Flareon's stats. So Flareon boasts a pretty impressive 130 base attack. That is nothing to sneeze at. makes Flareon hit like a damn truck. Plus, you're going to couple that with the ability Guts, which gives you a further attack boost if you are inflicted with a status like Poison or Paralyze or Burn or something like that. So obviously Guts and Flareon's item, the Toxic Orb, go hand in hand here. The Toxic Orb inflicts you with a Poison, activating your Guts ability, giving you an attack boost. Flareon plays no games. He hits like a motherfucking truck. I like to think of Flareon as like the PU version of Darmanitan, only a lot slower. Speaking of his speed, I feel like that's the only thing that really holds Flareon back is his base 65 speed. It's not very good, but I like to run Flame Charge on this set just to patch up the speed a little bit. And I like to run Flame Charge over Flare Blitz because of the speed boost. It just kind of helps you sweep more with Facade. You can get more damage out of Flareon before it goes down. Flareon also, because it's an evolution, does have decent special defense. It's a base 110 special defense. That's not bad at all. By no means is Flareon meant to be a Bulkymon, but you could definitely probably take a hit or two and deal some massive damage. So the moves for this set are obviously Flame Charge for the speed boost, Facade, it doubles in power if you're inflicted with a status move, or with a status rather, which you will be if you activate your Toxic Orb. Superpower is there for coverage, and Protect is there just to protect yourself from taking damage and activating your Toxic Orb. And of course, if you want to, you can always change out Flame Charge for Flare Blitz for the added damage. Number 9 is another Gen 1 Mon that I have recently fallen in love with, and that is Kingler. So Kingler, much like Flareon, boasts a 130 base attack. That is monstrous attack, like I said before. And Kingler also has pretty decent defense. It's base 115 defense, so you're definitely going to be able to take a physical hit or two and deal out some massive damage. Unfortunately, Kingler's other stats are pretty lackluster. Its speed is pretty garbage at 75, so I usually tend to run a Choice Scarf on mine. You could also run the Agility set, but I just find that the Choice Scarf is a lot safer because you don't have to waste a turn setting up. It's a lot safer for me, so... Kingler also has a pretty amazing ability in Hypercutter, and what Hypercutter does is, say for instance your opponent brings in something that has the ability Intimidate, which normally would drop your attack by one stage, but with Hypercutter it negates it, so you're going to keep your attack, unless of course you get burned or whatever, that's going to cut your attack in half, but yeah, it negates your opponent's like stat drops against you and stuff like that, so it's a really damn good ability. As far as its moveset, Crabhammer is for stab. It also has a high crit chance, but watch out, it does have 90 accuracy, so you might miss sometimes, so just be wary of that. Knockoff is there for coverage and utility. You know, knocking off your opponent's items can come in clutch sometimes, so Superpower is there for coverage, and X-Scissor is there for dealing with pesky psychic types like Masharna or Behemoth or something like that. But yeah, Kingler is a pretty damn awesome mon. Number 8 is yet another Gen 1 mon, Marowak. So Marowak is a pretty cool mon. I think it's pretty underrated. I tend to run more of a bulky set as opposed to the Adamant Max Attack set. I feel like with a thick club, you don't really need attack investment to do a lot of damage. I think without investment, Marowak's attack is like around 100, so the thick club actually doubles that. So you have 200 attack, plus you have a shitload of defense and max HP. So I just tend to run this kind of set because it helps you take more hits and you can deal a lot of damage and last longer. The ability on the set is Battle Armor, which just means that your opponent can't crit you, so it's a pretty handy ability, especially on a more bulky mon. Obviously, you don't really have the greatest like special defense in the world. It's not super low. I mean, base 80 is pretty average, but you're not going to be able to take like a super effective water type attack. So obviously, if somebody has a water type attack, don't bring out Marowak. Your speed is pretty bad at base 45, so I didn't even bother investing in speed just because you're probably never going to outspeed anything anyway. Like I said, I do run a bulky set, so I run Impish Nature on mine. My moveset is Bone Meringue, which is a lot like Earthquake, but it actually does a little bit more damage because it hits twice, and you also have 2 chances to crit. I run Iron Head for fairies like Clefairy and whatever else is in PU or NU. I run Fire Punch for stuff like Pharaoh Seed, stuff like that. And again, knockoff is just there for utility to get rid of items and stuff. This next mon is such a fucking asshole. Everybody hates this Pokemon. So number 7 is Jumpluff. I don't know a single person that loves facing Jumpluff. This thing is a real McAsshole. So the set we're actually running, this is actually a pretty gimmicky set. It's not the standard asshole Jumpluff. This is a little bit less of an asshole, but still an asshole kind of set. So basically, this is a Swords Dance Jumpluff set. It sounds ridiculous, but it actually works. I've actually swept teams with this before. So don't knock it till you try it. You're actually not even going to run an item on this set, and I'll get into the reasons why in a moment here. But looking at Jumpluff's pretty lackluster stats, I mean, your highest stat is your speed, which is pretty damn good at 110. You are going to outspeed most of the PU metagame, but other than that, your stats are pretty lackluster. I mean, special defense is pretty decent at 95. Every other stat is pretty freaking low. Your ability is Infiltrator, so what that does is it allows you to attack opponents that are behind a sub, so that is actually a pretty damn good ability. I gave this Jumpluff a Jolly Nature just to ensure that I outspeed or speed tie with other Jumpluff and stuff like that. But yeah, as for this ridiculous moveset, you have Swords Dance, which doubles your attack, Sleep Powder, which puts your opponent to sleep, Seed Bomb, which is just to deal stab grass damage, and then Acrobatics. Now, Acrobatics is the reason that you don't have an item on this set. Acrobatics actually doubles in power if you don't have an item. So instead of being a base 55 attack, it's like base 110. So plus I think it's stab, so you get the extra 50% boost. So Acrobatics after a couple Swords Dance hits really, really hard. So the idea behind this set is to bring in Jumpluff, Sleep Powder the opponent, and Swords Dance up while they stay asleep or if they switch out or whatever, and just go to town with Acrobatics or Seed Bomb, depending on the situation. But yeah, this set actually surprisingly works fairly well. And it's a blast to use, to be honest. I would definitely recommend this set. So my number 6 mon on this list is pretty fucking hilarious. So number 6 is Dustox, and I don't know if you guys were around back a while back when I uploaded a video where I damn near swept an entire Ubers team with just Dustox in my party. But that shit was bonkers. Now, this set is definitely gimmicky. It's not something I would recommend for like a league battle or something like really competitive. This set is more for people that like to fuck around and have a good time. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But looking at this set, we have Black Sludge as our item for this set, which is basically leftovers for poison types. Dustox has pretty average stats overall. The investment we went with for this set is max HP, max defense. So that's going to patch up your pretty average defense stat. Dustox also has a pretty high special defense, so all around you're going to be pretty bulky on both sides of the spectrum. Dustox also has a pretty damn good typing, being Poison Bug, and what's good about it is you quad resist fighting type attacks, which fighting is like one of the most common fighting is one of the most common attacking types is what I meant to say, and you quad resist that, so that's pretty damn good. And Dustox also has a pretty good ability here. Shield Dust, it protects you from secondary effects, so like if your opponent uses a move like, I don't know, Discharge, where it has a secondary effect of possibly paralyzing you, they're never going to be able to paralyze you with this effect, so that's pretty damn good. So the moveset is pretty out there, but the first move in the moveset is Silverwind, which is a 60, I believe, base power bug type move. So you do get stabbed, so it's basically boosted up to 90 base power. But what is cool about Silverwind is it gives you a 10% chance to boost all of your stats. So your attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. If you manage to get an all stat boost, Dustox will fucking never die. This shit will haunt your opponent forever. This shit will go apeshit on your opponent's team and just murder everything. It is so hilarious when Dustox fucking destroys your opponent. The next move is Roost. That's just basically recovery. The next move is Sludge Bomb, which is just for coverage, I guess. And and also Sludge Bomb does get stabbed, so it also gets the 50% boost in damage. And finally, the last move is Quiver Dance. That's going to boost your special attack, special defense, and speed. So that is going to patch up your special defense stat that we did not invest in. So all around, this Dustox set is pretty gimmicky, but it's pretty damn hilarious when you can get it to work. My number 5 on this list is actually a mon that's not technically in the PU tier, but it is Little Cup, which means that you can use it in PU. So this mon is Lileep. Now, this is a Pokemon I haven't used for a while, but this thing, much like Dustox, is basically built to be an asshole. So this set, obviously, you're gonna run an Eviolite, which boosts your defense and special defense because you're a non-fully evolved Pokemon. So both defenses get a 50% boost, which is nice. That's going to obviously add a shitload of bulk to this set. The set we're running is 220 into HP, 196 in defense, 84 in special defense, and the last, like, I don't know, 10 to 12 EVs you can just slap into anything. I just put 4 into special attack and the rest into speed. It really doesn't matter because it's such a low investment, but it's really just up to you. Your ability here is Storm Drain, so if you get hit by a water type attack, it's going to give you a +1 boost to your special attack. And much like Dustox, you do have a move on this Lileep set that gives you a 10% boost to all of your, a 10% chance to boost all of your stats by 1. So Ancient Power, like Dustox's Silver Wind, does give you that 10% chance to boost all your stats. So if you get lucky and you get the all stat boost, this Lileep will fucking never die. And then finally you have Recover for, obviously, recovery. I mean, its name basically says what it does. And then your last move on the move slot is Toxic. So basically, this guy is meant to sit there on the field and Toxic Stall the ever-loving fuck out of your opponent. And it's pretty funny when you use a Lileep because nobody expects it. And I don't know, it's just one of those, like, it's a novelty mon, to be honest. Like, it's a pretty funny mon to use. And like I said, nobody sees this shit coming. Number 4 is a Pokemon that I used to use all the fucking time, and that's Clefairy. Clefairy is such an asshole. This thing will fucking never die. Clefairy is like crit bait, because the only time you're gonna kill this Clefairy is if you crit it. And unfortunately for me, it seems like every time I use Clefairy, it ends up getting critted. So I usually don't use Clefairy anymore, but back in the day, I used to use this shit all the time. So much like Lileep, you are going to be running the Eviolite on this set, so it's going to patch up your defense and special defense by 50%. The set we're running is max HP, max defense, and then you obviously have the Magic Guard ability, so you're not going to be affected by hazards, you're not going to be affected by Life Orb recoil, and you're not going to be affected by like Toxic or Burn or anything like that. So it's a damn good ability. Bold Nature, just to further patch up your defense. And the moveset for this guy, and what makes Clefairy such an asshole, is Calm Mind, which raises your special defense and special attack, Soft Boiled, which is for recovery, Stored Power, which kind of goes hand in hand with Calm Mind. The more boost that you get, the more power that Stored Power does. I think it boosts by like 20 base, 20 base damage per each boost to your stats. So basically, every time you Calm Mind, you're getting a 40 base power boost to Stored Power, which is pretty damn nice. And then finally, your last move is Toxic, which, like I think I said before, Toxic is just there to whittle away at your opponent slowly as you destroy them with Clefairy. So overall, this is a pretty... It's not really a gimmicky set, I wouldn't say, but it's a very, very annoying mon for your opponent to deal with, and it's very hard to get around Clefairy, especially after you set up a couple Calm Minds. Really, the only way, like I said, to get around Clefairy is to crit it. So just, if you use Clefairy, just keep in mind crits are a thing, and just be very, very careful of crits. Oh, and also, you're not going to be able to hit dark types, so keep that in mind. So the next Pokemon on my list, coming in at number 3, is Altaria. Now, this Altaria set is basically meant to be a very, 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 very bulky sweeping mon. So the set info, the item you're going to run is Leftovers. That's just going to give you like 12% HP back every turn. The EVs you're going to run are 244 HP, and that gives you an odd number of HP, and basically that's for Stealth Rocks, so you can switch in on Stealth Rocks more. 4 EVs in attack, 4 EVs in defense. those were basically the leftover EVs. 252 in special defense to max out your special defense, and finally the last 6 EVs go in speed. So it's kind of a weird EV spread, but like I said, the 244 and the 252, you only have like 12 EVs left, so I kind of split it up into the other stats. You could obviously put all 12 into one stat, but I like to get the most that I can out of my EV spread, so whenever I have like a weird EV spread, that's basically what I'm doing. So the ability for this set is Natural Cure. So what Natural Cure does is every time you switch out, if you had like a status condition like Burn, Paralyzer, Toxic, or whatever, it actually gets rid of that for you. So it's a very, very handy ability, especially for a bulky mon such as this. Your nature is going to be careful, so that's going to maximize your special defense while subtracting from your special attack, which is fine because this is not a special attacking set. And finally, for the move set, your only attacking move on this set is Dragon Claw, so obviously you have to watch out for fairy mons like Clefairy and stuff like that. So obviously if they have a fairy, get rid of that before you bring Altaria in. Cotton Guard raises your defense by 3 stages, guys. 3. Holy shit, that is a huge boost to defense. And Altaria's base 90 defense is not bad by any means, so this thing is going to be incredibly hard to kill. Your next move is going to be Dragon Dance, so that's going to increase your attack and speed by 1 stage each. So this is where this is where Altaria gets its power from and how it's able to sweep teams. Just because of all the bulk, your opponent can't freaking kill you, and then you just get all these boosts and kill them. And finally, your last move is Roost, just for recovery. So overall, Altaria is a very, very hard mon to deal with, especially with this set. Just like I said, watch out for fairies. Number 2 is a mon that I've used quite often, and that is Electrode. So Electrode is a pretty cool mon. I think it's actually the fastest mon in the PU tier. I think it actually outspeeds things like Zebstrika and stuff by a couple points. So it's definitely a quick mon. I usually run a choice spec set just to give it a little extra oomph. Because Electrode's special attack it's average. I mean, it's base 80. It's nothing like outstanding, but it gets the job done. So looking at the EV investment, we have 78 into HP, just to give you a little extra added bulk. I gave you 252 special attack just to maximize your attack with a timid nature, and 180 in speed, because you really don't need any more than that. So you're actually able to pump the last few points into HP, like I said, just to add bulk. Electrode's a pretty frail mon, so it's meant to hit and run. It's a lot like Ambipom, where it comes in just to do a little damage and gets out. Its moveset is pretty standard. Thunderbolt is there for obviously coverage and damage. You also get stab. Volt Switch is there to deal damage and get the hell out. It's a lot like U-Turn in that aspect. Plus, it does a lot more damage because of the stab and the choice specs and everything. Signal Beam is there for coverage, to deal with like pesky grass types, and pesky psychic types and dark types, stuff like that. And then finally you have HP Ice, which can deal with like flying types and ground types and stuff like that if you catch a ground type on a switch or something like that. And finally, Electrode has a really good ability in Aftermath. So what Aftermath does is, if your opponent kills you with a physical attack, it cuts 25% of your opponent's health, which is pretty damn nice. You can actually also, if your opponent is low on health, you could actually get a couple kills with Aftermath, which is pretty nice. So it's definitely a damn good ability. So before we get to the number 1 mon on my list, here are a couple honorable mentions. Alright guys, we finally made it. The number 1 Pokemon on my list of PU Mons is, and I think we all saw this coming, it's Go-Goat. So, Go-Goat, in my opinion, is the best fucking Mon in the entire game. But obviously, most people don't think so, because this thing is, for whatever reason, all the way down in fucking PU. But, you know, I think it deserves much better than that. I think Go-Goat should go to Ubers, but hey. So looking at Go-Goat's stats here, it has extremely high HP, at base 123 HP. That is phenomenal HP, holy hell. It actually has a base 100 attack, which is pretty damn nice. Definitely above average. Base 62 defense, that's pretty below average defense, but we do have a move in our move slot that actually patches that up and turns Go-Go into a damn savage. Base 97 special attack, I mean, you could be that guy and run like a special attacking Go-Go with like choice specs or whatever. I don't know why you would, but it would be kind of funny. For whatever reason, Go-Goat also gets Surf, so you could run Surf Go-Goat with choice specs if you wanted to, if you want to be that guy, but hey, you know. Base 81 special defense, which is pretty decent. It's just a hair above average. I think 80's around average for most stats anyway. And then finally, base 68 speed. So pretty low speed, but it's not the lowest in the world. I mean, there are some mons that Go-Goat is going to outspeed, but you're basically not going to outspeed the most of the meta games, so don't really plan on that. But anyway, the EV spread for this set is pretty simple. Max HP, max special defense. The rest of the EVs are pumped into defense just to add bulk. And Sap Sipper is a pretty amazing ability. If you predict right, if your opponent is going to go for like a grass type attack, you can bring Go-Go in and you basically get a free attack boost. That's how that works. The item for this set is going to be Leftovers, which I think I mentioned before gives you like 12% of your HP back every turn if you take damage. You're going to run a Careful Nature, maximizing your special defense. And as far as the move set here, the first move is going to be Bulk Up. That's going to patch up your attack and your defense, which makes Go-Goat into a damn savage. As you guys could see, I actually swept an Uber's team with this damn thing, and I've swept other teams with Go-Goat as well. This thing is a damn monster. Horn Leech is a stab move. It also gives you HP back, so it just kind of adds to Go-Goat's longevity in battle. The next move is Milk Drink, which is just a recovery move. It's kind of weird that Go-Goat drinks his own milk, but hey, I'm not here to judge. And finally, you have a choice between Earthquake or Rock Slide. Personally, I run Earthquake more often than not, but if I do plan on bringing Go-Go into higher tiers like OU, I'll probably switch Earthquake for Rock Slide because Talonflame is fucking everywhere. And as we saw in that one video, my Go-Go actually one-shot a Talonflame with a Rock Slide on a prediction. So if you predict well, Go-Go can be a damn savage. But that's pretty much it for my list, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know this video was very long, but man, Go-Goat, you guys have to try out Go-Goat. And honestly, I think Go-Goat works well in higher tiers. You just have to do a little prediction, and I think this thing can work very, very damn well. But yeah, that's it for my list, guys. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me and stuff. I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links, as always, in the description below. I love you guys. Peace.